Hey, I'm Lauren. Today I'm back talking about the new eyeshadows from Jones Road Beauty. They've launched a complete range of them now of the cool tones. There are 9 total. Now, I originally had one of the eyeshadows from the original kit that they launched way at the beginning of Jones Road Beauty. It was just kind of a teaser for all of these shadows that have just come out. And then I also picked up the 3 new eyeshadow brushes, which we're going to talk all about. So the original shadow that they launched was their darkest brown, and let me show you. It's a very rich kind of espresso shade. And I remember when I first tried this, it had almost like a drier texture than a lot of eyeshadows that I'm used to playing with at this point in time. So when I got the 2 other shades that I grabbed when they dropped all of these, I picked up Smokey Grey and So Pretty. And So Pretty is like an intense, sparkly, shimmery kind of a look. And then Smokey Grey is this really beautiful smoke gray. What I found so interesting is that these new shades that I picked up, the texture of them feels a little bit almost softer and creamier for a powder than that original brown shade. So I don't know if they've kind of added something to the formula. They're very similar feeling, but there is a softness to these where I feel like the dark brown is a little bit drier feeling, which is kind of interesting. So let's talk a little bit about these shadows. These retail for $25. There are currently 9 shades, and there are some warm tones that are going to be coming in the future. Bobby said in a recent live video that I watched that she just loves cool tones, so that's kind of why they started there. For these eyeshadow brushes, there are 3. There is the Eye Fluffy brush. This retails for $25. This is great for kind of an all-over color. You've got the eye blending brush, which is $26, great for softening out any hard lines. And this isn't on their website. This is just a me thing when it comes to blending brushes. I love using these for a very soft application of color because they tend to have a looser fiber and they apply a very soft wash of color rather than really packing color on. So that's kind of my little personal tip there. And then you have the eye detail brush, which is this little teeny tiny one. And this has, you know, a good kind of firm bristle to it. So you can really pack on the color with this. And then I'll show you something in a little bit that I also think this brush is great for. Oh, and this is $22, the eye detail brush. All of these brushes are vegan fibers. We're gonna do a look with this. I've already got the rest of my face on. I already have on some more Jones Road Beauty using the face pencil. And then I have some blush on, but I also popped on a little bit of Dusty Rose Miracle Balm on top of that just to bring some glisten and glow back to my cheeks. So let's start with Smokey Grey, and I'm going to use the Fluffy eye brush. The nice thing about this, when you look at it, it's kind of flat that way and then it's fat that way. So for application, you can really kind of pack it onto the lid like so. I love this color, by the way. I think it is so pretty. They have another shade that's a little bit lighter than Smokey Grey, which I will probably end up getting, and it's called Ash. But I like this color because even though it's a gray, it's not flat. It's not entirely flat. And I think a lot of cooler tones can look kind of lifeless, where I feel like, at least with this collection from what I have and what I've seen online, these have almost like a brown base to them. And because of that, I find it ultra flattering. And this particular shade, I almost feel like there's a hint of like a purple undertone to it, which I really like. So let's put this on the other eye too. And the nice thing too, this shade in particular, you can start out a little more sheer and then really kind of build the intensity if you want to, which I like. I have to say, I really just love the fact that, like, you know, Bobby's like, I like cool tones, so that's where we're going to start. The interesting thing, I was like really kind of looking at everything in my kit right now, and I don't really own a lot of cool tones. I feel like for such a long time, warm tones have really dominated the market, and I kind of just love the fact that Bobby's like, yeah, whatever, I like cool tones, so we're gonna do that. I just love that kind of attitude. I think it's great. The nice thing with this brush being flat, if you want to go in on your lower lash line, which I do, you can really just kind of lay this on there, and it's not going to be really thick and too wide. I love the shape of this brush. This is a fantastic brush. I'm not surprised. I have loved the other two Jones Road brushes that I have for the face. One of them is a flat foundation brush, and then there's a smaller detailing brush. Like, Bobbi Brown knows makeup very well, but her brushes from her old collection and in Jones Road Beauty, I have been so happy with. The nice thing about the shape of this brush too, say you wanted more of like a cat eye shape, because it's flat, you're going to be able to just drag it up and really kind of get that. Okay, so there's kind of a quick application of Smokey Grey, and now I'm going to take this blending brush and really just kind of soften out all of my edges. I really like the size and shape of this blending brush. And I have to say, like, I have a blending brush that I really like, but this is quite different than that one. This one, the fibers are a little more stiff than the other one that I have. The other one is a very, very soft kind of fiber compared to this. So you can really get in there, but it's also not like so stiff to the point where it's like completely erasing everything you've just applied. I really like how this blends out. I always like to kind of sit back and look because of how my bone structure is. I have a very prominent brow bone, and it's easy for me to get a very cat eye shape even if I don't want it, just because of how my brow bone sticks out. So I always like to kind of like sit back a little bit, and if too much pigment is gathering on that edge of my brow bone, I always like to kind of fluff that out if I'm not going for a cat eye effect. Oftentimes I do, because it's just very easy to do with my facial structure. So now that we've got this kind of wash of Smokey Grey on here, I'm going to take So Pretty, and I'm going to use that little detail brush just because it is somewhat firmer bristles and you can really pack on that color. So what I'm going to do with this shade in particular is really pop it on the center, almost for kind of like that like halo eye effect. I love this because it really draws some light over the center of your iris. Look at that color. It's so pretty. I mean, I get why they named it that, because it really is so pretty. I don't really own, I really don't own anything quite like this shade. The only other thing that I own that is really similar to So Pretty is the silver eyeliner Best Pencil from Jones Road Beauty also. So I'm going to show you just real quick. I feel like they used kind of similar pigments in these, because look, it's a really bright shimmery silver in that cream base. And I feel like So Pretty is kind of like the powder version of that. I feel like they used very similar pigments. Obviously, you get a much stronger payoff with a liner in that cream base, and then you've got kind of the loose shimmer, and it's almost, I would say, a little bit more glittery, but the undertone and I feel like the tone overall is very, very similar between the two. And I don't own any other colors like that in my collection. So I really appreciate the kind of uniqueness of having cooler tones, because nobody else, I feel like, has really been doing that. And then just to kind of soften this out a little bit, I'm going to take that blending brush and just kind of feather the sides of where I applied So Pretty. Beautiful. Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you that I feel like you can do very easily with this little detail brush. I'm gonna dust off some of these silvery pigments because, you know, they're just gonna be in there for what I'm showing you, but whatever. So what you can do, because of the size and shape and the texture of this brush, this is a great brush for smudging out eyeliner if that's something that you like to do, which I do. So I'll show you kind of how you can do that. So I'm going to take the best pencil in black here, just do a really thick swatch of that. And I want you to look. So you can use this brush to really kind of disperse that pigment and make it much softer. So say you only had your pencil eyeliner with you, you can use a small brush like this to really kind of buff out that color if you wanted to do more of like a smoky eye effect. I think it's just like such a great little tidbit I wanted to show you because I think this is a fantastic brush for doing that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some of that black eyeliner onto my lash line. I may smudge it out. I don't know. We'll see. This is like way too bright right here. That's better. And just for fun, I'm going to smudge that out just a little bit with this brush. And when you have a brush like this and it kind of picks up some of that eyeliner, if you're using it as a smudger, you can also take that because there's going to be some left on here and you can make a very soft smudge underneath your eye too. Just kicks up the intensity just a little bit. I love that. Let me show you some swatches of the three that I have. I'm going to start with dark brown, and this is like a very rich espresso color. And then we'll do some smoky gray. You can see it. It almost kind of picks up a slight lavender kind of undertone, which I just really, really love. I think it's just really flattering. And then So Pretty, which I really, really enjoy this shade just because it is so different than I feel like everything that I own right now. Up on a little bit of my Jones Road mascara, and then we will check back in for final thoughts on these new launches. All right, mascara is on. I've said this before, but I love this mascara so much. Like, I would say this and the Thrive liquid lash extensions are my two favorites. I have backups of both of them because I refuse to be without them. But look at those lashes, girl. It's really good. Okay, so let's talk kind of final thoughts about this first eyeshadow collection launch. I love that she went with cooler tones. I think that Bobbi Brown, something that I would say is really, she's a trend maker. She doesn't care about what the actual trends are at the moment. She's like, you know what, I like cool tones, so that's what I'm gonna do. I love that. And I love that it brings something completely new and fresh to my collection. So I really appreciate that they started with cooler tones. And with that being said, I think that the way that they formulated these tones, they are ultra flattering on a wide variety of skin tones. That's something that I love so much, is in their campaigns, they show all of these colors on deeper tone models, on really, really fair models, on redheads. I think that they have created colors that really just kind of work for everyone, and I love that they showcase that in their marketing. These actual eyeshadows themselves, I really, really like. I think that if you are someone who is a bit more minimalist and you don't have a lot of makeup, or you don't want to, and you just want a very streamlined kind of kit, I think if you grab like one or two of these, or even three, you can create a really complete eye look, and you don't need a ton of products. They really just perform well. They're beautiful. I love how So Pretty catches the light. I think these would also be really great for travel. So if you are someone who doesn't want to have a bunch of like heavy makeup or palettes and stuff, in your bag when you're traveling. I think, you know, pop a couple of these in there and you are good to go. I love, love, love the brush curation. I think that if you are someone who is really looking for functional tools that are streamlined, these are fantastic. They are also vegan. I love Jones Road Beauty. I have been a fan from the very beginning when they first launched. I was so excited to see Bobbi Brown branch into a new venture outside of Bobbi Brown Cosmetics. And I love her vision for this entire collection. I just love her eye for makeup and the way that she sees people and the way that she does makeup on people, I think is really, really special. She doesn't try to change you. She just makes you look like the best version of yourself. And most days, I think that's what I'm going for. I think a lot of people kind of feel that way when it comes to makeup. They really just want to look like the most enhanced, perfect, pretty version of themselves. And this whole line really does that. I think that there's something really special about it, the way that it kind of plays up your features. So yeah, overall, I really, really love these new brushes. I love the shadows. I can't wait to see what else they launched. I did hear a little sneak peek of some products that are coming. So I'm very, very excited about where Jones Road Beauty is going. I think it's a fantastic collection. So if you enjoyed this, please make sure to give it a like, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I'm officially over 1,000 subscribers, which is like the coolest thing ever, being monetized. So thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. It really does help out for me to be able to purchase new products to try. I love doing this. I love telling you about new products that are launching. It's really fun for me as someone who has loved makeup since she was about yay high. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.